An organization's decisions are often influenced by similar decisions made by its competitors and in some cases by policyholders. However, the decisions made by competitors and policyholders are beyond the control of the organization. Hence, how should business leaders take into consideration the impact of decisions made by competitors into their own decision making framework? Game theory is a powerful mathematical tool that helps us to model, analyze, and generate insight under such scenarios. Hello, my name is Ganesh CB and welcome to my course on game theory for decision making. Let me take a simple example to motivate the application of game theory in decision making. Consider these two players, player 1 and player 2. These players can be thought of as organizations that compete in the market, say PepsiCo and Coca-Cola. Now imagine PepsiCo wants to decide its annual marketing budget for a particular year. Now this decision is also influenced by the marketing budget of its major competitor Coca-Cola and vice versa. Hence, this is a scenario where an organization's decision is influenced by similar decisions made by its competitor. Let's look at another common example from game theory called the tragedy of commons. This concept was made famous by a seminal work by Garrett Hardin in 1968. To explain this concept, let me take a simple example of a lake and a fishing ecosystem. Consider a lake with a certain amount of fishes in it. Two people come for fishing. If these two people fish modestly, then they catch only a low number of fishes and let the fishing ecosystem sustain. However, if these two people try to maximize their utility by catching as many fishes as possible, then there is a possibility that they end up catching all the fishes in the lake and the fishing ecosystem collapses. So, what should be the ideal fishing strategy for a particular player? Should they fish modestly and let the fishing ecosystem survive, or should they fish aggressively to maximize their individual utilities? The answer to these questions are not very intuitive. The reason is that the fishing strategy of a particular player will depend critically on the strategy adopted by player 2. For example, whether player 1 wants to fish modestly or aggressively will depend critically on the strategy adopted by player 2. Player 1 might not want to fish modestly if he or she knows that player 2 is going to fish aggressively and vice versa. This also raises another question, whether one player knows the strategy that the other player is going to adopt or not. So these are various scenarios where game theoretic framework can be used to predict what will be the equilibrium outcome. So here we have considered two hypothetical examples of decision making, and game theoretic frameworks will help in understanding the equilibrium outcome of these scenarios. Similar scenarios can be modeled in real world business problems using game theoretic applications.